Want to know what one of the top ways to remain youthful and vibrant throughout your entire life? Well, it goes back to a statement made by Henry Ford over 100 years ago. He said, whether you're 20 or whether you're 80, if you stop learning, you become old. Hi, I'm Laura with Shine After 50, and today I'm going to discuss this very topic about how important it is to keep learning. And I thought of this because we're coming up to the second week of August, and in a few weeks, in most areas, although I know in the South, schools may already be starting this week, but at least by after Labor Day, it'll be the start of the school year in elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and beyond, and college. Well, colleges typically start before that. But one of my fondest memories when I was growing up was the beginning of school. I did like to learn a lot. Although I enjoyed my summers off, I always looked forward to that first week and those first few days of school. Why? Well, one of my favorite memories is that of cracking open the textbook and that scent. It was a distinctive scent. I don't know whether those textbooks smell the same way these days or not, but it was that distinctive scent when I cracked open the textbook, and then starting from scratch on a new year, a new topic, or at least a new facet of the topic, and it just energized me. Well, we can keep that same enthusiasm throughout our lives, and I think it's vital for staying ageless, for staying vibrant. Recently, I had the experience of attending a workshop online given by podcaster and prolific writer, nonfiction and fiction, Joanna Penn. She lives in Bath, England, I believe. And her workshop focused on giving writers new ways of generating creative ideas and also of learning how to effectively harness artificial intelligence, not to skip writing or to eliminate writing yourself, but basically to use it as a vital tool to improve your writing, to jumpstart your creativity. And I love this workshop. I gained many new ideas, learned some new skills that I implemented and am implementing today. So that was something that really just got my juices going. Also, something else that came to mind about this importance of learning and of challenging yourself, no matter what age you are, especially after age 50, was the movie that came out about a year and a half ago, or maybe it was 2 years ago, but I saw it about a year and a half ago, and that movie was Nyad, starring Annette Bening and Jodie Foster. And the focus was, or the story was about the true story of Diana Nyad, who was a swimmer. And in her late 20s, she tried to swim the 110 miles from Florida, I forget which part of Florida, southern coast of Florida, to Cuba. And she failed when she was in her late 20s. And that was something that always aided her, this failed attempt. So surprisingly, when she was in her early 60s, she got this crazy idea to do this again, to attempt to complete this swim in her early 60s. Now, this is not something I say that you have to do, but the storyline is important in that she didn't let her age stop her. She was almost 30, she was over 30 years older than when she had failed in her previous attempt. But she decided to take this challenge on with a new focus and new approaches. She got a coach played by Jodie Foster, and she endured many challenges. In fact, I thought she was pretty much crazy. And I'm not saying that you also have to challenge yourself to something this astronomical, I would just say. I mean, this was an exceptional challenge. But her story and all the grueling training she went through, her body went through, she was almost, I think, died. She got very ill a few times. The cold water, then the being bitten by jellyfish, and then she had to have a cage to avoid the sharks. But she ultimately completed the 110-mile swim at the age of 64. Granted, she was completely depleted when she finished it, but she was able to complete it. And it was all due to her willingness to learn new approaches and also to grit and perseverance. And that's what I think, keeping yourself in a learning mode, to always being open to learning, to open to new ideas is so vital. And so I would invite you to think about how you can apply this to your own life. Now, in a much smaller scale, not anything compared to Diana Nyad, I've been exercising regularly since teen years, but especially since my mid-20s. I've done yoga, I did running, I've been jumping on the trampoline. A couple of years ago, or 3 years ago, when I was a member of a particular fitness club in Charleston, I also started Pilates. Now, this was something completely new to me. And I will say the first time I did Pilates and had to learn new movements, I felt as if I was really out of shape and it challenged my brain, etc. And now I'm continuing to do it here in Washington, D.C. with different instructors and different movements. So that's been a challenge, but I invite that challenge, even though sometimes I think, oh, I'd rather not push myself this way, or this is very difficult. Some moves that were made in class last week. But this is a way that keeps your mind fresh, that keeps your mind ageless by learning new forms, new facets of things, and also learning something completely new. So, what I invite you this week is to take a couple of action steps. One, look up some courses. Look up some type of, whether it's local college, adult education, or online courses, something that may be completely new, that challenges your mind in a different way, and sign up for that course and learn as much as you can. Number two is challenge yourself to perhaps engage in a new type of physical activity, whether it's Pilates, pickleball, strength training. Oh, and forgot to mention that starting tomorrow and the beginning of this week, I will be going through working with a personal trainer, maybe to lift some weights. Now, lifting weights, I've worked with small weights, but lifting weights is not something I've ever really done. I can say I've never done. And I've never had strong shoulders and strong upper body. But it's important, especially as the years go by, to keep strengthening, to make sure that you use certain muscles to stay strong, to avoid that bone density frailty. I hope this information has been helpful for you, and just would conclude by saying, always keep learning, no matter whether you're 20, 60, 70, 80. That is the way to stay vibrant. Until next time, remember, you're never too old to keep shining.